What is going on, everybody? It is Thursday night at 6 p.m. It's time. It's the NFL Pick'em Show. My name is Paul Spencer. That is the Giants fan, Mr. Dan Connor. Dan, how you doing, brother?
I'm pretty good, except my Giants losing in heartbreaking fashion. I am good.
I
And it
hear
was
you.
definitely a pass interference, but it's not why they
Oh,
lost.
Dan, shoulda, coulda, woulda, brother. Come on
Shoulda, coulda,
now.
woulda. Yep, could have
Well,
done other stuff before that to win. They didn't do enough.
yep. Well, Dan, last week we had a guest, special guest here, and um,
Oh,
she didn't finish last place. You know what I mean? I know who finished last place last
I
week,
did.
but it was you. Oh, I didn't want to say who it was. I totally
I was
forgot
in
that.
double digits at least.
You were double digits, but hey, listen, we're going to bring our special guest on this week again because, hey, she held her own last week, so we want to bring her
Yep.
back. She's back with us this week. Let's welcome to the stage Miss Jen. How you doing, hon?
I'm good. How are you, Paul? Hey,
I'm
Dan.
doing
How are
well.
you?
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Doing
I'm
well. Doing
well.
well. Boy, I tell you real quick, not to say something, about sports here. Well, sports, pick them last week, but man, I thought your Panthers might pull something out in the first quarter here after that first quarter.
Yo, like I had such high expectations for our defense this season. I losing Shaq is such a loss.
Mhm.
Like Shaq, Taylor Moton, one or two other guys are like OG. They understand what keep pounding means. And yeah. Yes. And I had such high hopes for our DC. I mean, look what he did in Colorado last year. But oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, after that first quarter, I'm like, oh man, I really took, I'm going to lose this game. And then after the first
Yeah.
quarter, I'm like, okay, they're coming back. They're coming back. Oh, now the track meet begins. The track meet
Yeah.
begins,
But that is the first time I have ever once nailed the score correctly on any game.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, we got a couple comments here. Eileen says, hi, my favorite people. Thank you, Eileen. Thanks for tuning in. And Danny, they're already starting on you. Someone get Danny a tissue.
He's a mad Red Sox and a Bruins fan.
Oh,
So,
boy. Well,
yeah.
Dan, we can't say much because our Braves led the league this year and, basically shit the bed too. So,
Failed miserably, so there's nothing I can say
yeah, we
about
can't
my
say anything
baseball
about that.
team.
We can't say anything about
Forget
that.
baseball. It's hockey
Yep.
and football season now.
Yep. Jen, you did great last week. I mean, there was one game, the disagreement game that we didn't agree on was the Dallas and Charger game. That was our, that was our thing between us that we missed. You missed. I picked the Cowboys. You took the Chargers. Dan took the Chargers. But other than that, I mean, God, it was a pretty consistent week for all of us, really, except for Dan, of course.
I don't think I did too bad.
Except for Dan, of course. I mean, Dan went 10, I went 13, and Jen, you went 12. My God, I think I'm just going to kick Dan off the show and bring you here every week. At least it's a challenge,
It's 2 weeks. I was 8-7. That's why I'm a little behind, more behind than I want to be. So,
Dan, at least hey, you're 4 out of 6 on double-digit wins here. So you're okay, Dan. You're all right. You're all right. Yeah. But I'm going to this week. I mean, speaking of last week, what game surprised you the most? Honestly, out of all the games here that we picked, what game surprised you the most?
Last week?
Yeah.
The thing that surprised me the most was that I was actually like spot on with our score. Probably Ravens Titans. I mean, I don't know why, but I really kind of felt like the Titans are going to pull it out. But I knew there was that chance. Lamar was like, "Oh no," but that's the one I really thought. That was the one I was the most surprised by. I don't know why. And Christian getting hurt. However, any Panthers fan or anybody who follows Christian would be like, "Why?" But if you had to work under Matt Rule or live near him, you would understand why. That surprised me. But that was actually a big surprise loss too. So against the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, I took the Browns. I mean, the 49ers as well. It's just when you lose Debo and you lose CMC in the backfield, that takes away so much. I mean, you go from being elite, an exclusive offense to a vanilla offense without them too. It shows.
Yeah, you do.
And that's not taking away anything.
Was banged up a bit too, I think.
Yeah, and that's not taking away anything from the Browns defense. That Browns defense showed up too, and I give them all the credit in the world because they played one hell of a game with PJ Walker playing QB too. You know,
Yeah,
Here's
their
the thing.
defense. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Dan. You go ahead.
Yeah, their defense is statistically,
Yeah.
they're second in the league to
Yeah.
San Francisco, so their defense is legit. But I was surprised. I mean, their defense played well, made the plays they had to in the end, and they got a little lucky in the end. But they played a real good football game versus basically a Super Bowl contender. But when you lose Debo, you lose the guys they lost. They're just not as dynamic.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
they if they only lost one of those guys, they'd probably win the game.
I agree.
Go ahead,
Jen, what were you saying?
I was gonna say everybody knocks PJ, but if PJ's with the right coach, he's solid. Remember, even Patrick Mahomes last year during the Panthers Atlanta game said the throw from PJ to DJ, like that took it, but was the throw and catch of the year. It was 85 yards, 84 yards. So yeah, like PJ's got it in him. I was really upset when we didn't renew when we cut him. Like it really was.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. I mean, going all the way back from Temple, then they got DJ Mathis to come in to take over his spot. But under the right system, you could utilize your quarterback's strengths. If you find a strength of your QB, surround him with the right tools. It's like with the Cowboys. Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, elite playbook versus a vanilla playbook. Go to your quarterback's strength. I mean, 4-1 goes a long way with the playbook, and that's what he did last week. That's what they did with PJ Walker.
I like him because he's pretty mobile. He's athletic. He could throw pretty solid. He's not the most amazing arm, and he's a playmaker. He made some real big plays. He escaped some sacks. So, for coming in there, having to do that, playing against that defense, I mean, that's a pretty good job. I was surprised. I really thought the 49ers were going to win that game.
And
they're good.
He's not a rookie quarterback, but he didn't make rookie mistakes. He knows how to live another day, throw the ball away, avoid the sack. Even if he gets out of the pocket, scrambles, he threw the ball away, avoided the sack, live another day, and don't lose yardage. To me, he showed a lot of poise in the backfield this week, commanding the offense. Really did. Yeah. Let's see. We got Stacy checking in. Stacy is your co-host, Dan, of the Big Blue Power Hour.
What's up, Stacy? What's going on?
Hello, everyone. How you doing, Stace? How's the weather in beautiful Texas today, Stacy? Yep. But you know what? Let's get into this week's picks here. I mean, we're pretty neutral on all of our picks here. I think we're pretty damn close on everything we picked here. Did the graphic a little bit different here, a little bit easier to read for us. So tonight's game, let's talk about tonight's game. Dan, you're the oddball for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if you're trying to get points back here or something.
I need points.
But I mean, you're the oddball out here. Jen and I are both taking the Saints. Dan, I'll let you start because you took the Jaguars.
I think they're well coached. Lawrence is going to play tonight.
Okay.
I think the game's going to be close, but I think they're going to pull it out. And sometimes the Jags play really well, sometimes they don't. And I think this is going to be a game where they play well. The Saints do have a good defense. They are at home.
Yeah.
And I just think the Jags are going to win a close game. I think it's going to be like 20-17 or something like that because the Saints don't score a lot of points as well.
Okay.
So I think the Jags are going to pull this one out in a close game.
Boy, do you need this win, Dan? Huh?
And I do need it, yes.
Jen, why are you taking the Saints?
Yep.
Because every time I go against them, they win.
You said this last week. Yes.
No, she wants it to go the opposite.
I know.
Exactly.
So she's banking on her luck, a
little reverse psychology, there.
But also because honestly, like the Saints and the Jags have only matched up 7 times, right? The Saints do own that series, 4-3.
How many times they have Breeze?
So
those 7.
That's true. And we have a backup quarterback versus Trevor, but Trevor is coming off of an injury.
True.
I'm not gonna lie. From a Panthers fan perspective, Atlanta is a harder stadium to win in than New Orleans.
Wow.
That's just me. So
I wouldn't know.
I mean, that's just like me seeing them because I mean Atlanta fans can be really obnoxious. I just hate New Orleans. Not just because they're in my division, but because of stuff I know. So.
I gotcha. I'm going to take the Saints. I'm going to rely on defense here. Trevor Lawrence is a little bit banged up. He was doubtful. Dan says he is playing tonight, but yeah, I think that limits his running game as well. The arm strength might not be there, so I'm going to go with the Saints here. I'm looking for one person to have a bounce back game. I need Kamara to show up tonight.
Yeah.
I think he needs to get the ball in his hands, go back to like that. I'm not saying he's, the quarterback's Breeze here, but go back to the Breeze days where they use him. Find Michael Thomas in the field too. Get these players active.
He needs a big game.
Space.
He needs to be a key part of their offense too.
Yep. Get this team in space, man, because Kamara is a wide receiver. He's a Deebo Samuel, basically. Catch the ball backfield, run the ball. They need to go back to fundamentals with Alvin Kamara here. So I think the defense, I'm going to go defense here. I'm going to go Saints too.
It's a smart play. I mean, I think it will be close though.
Gotcha. Dave Yarnell checking in. That's my co-host on the 215 Boys. Hey, Dave, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Thanks for checking in, brother. All right, let's go to the next game here. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
Well, I'm the oddball here. I took the Raiders today. Reason why, I don't know. I really don't know.
No Garoppolo.
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly. But
probably, but he should
doubtful,
play, I guess.
Doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Bears are still, after that Washington game where, it was just an elite team looking at Justin Fields, I don't believe in right now. I don't believe that a connection with DJ Moore is going to be there every week. The defense played great, but I just don't see him winning this game. I think not Oakland. Shit, I said Oakland again. Las Vegas bounces back. I think the Raiders here, because that division is still kind of open. The Chiefs are going to run away with it. The Broncos are bad. The Chargers just lost. So they need this game. They need this game to crawl back in the standings. So I'm going to be the oddball. I am going Raiders. Up to you two.
I'm going to go the Bears because the Raiders don't have Garoppolo. They're going to have the backup in there, and this is in Chicago. And I think that Fields will play a good game. The Raiders, I don't know how really good. I don't think they're very good defensively. So I just think the Bears will play a game. I think Fields is going to have one of those games where he's a good game. And I think the Bears will win the game. I don't think it's going to be high scoring, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Jen?
Fields tends to show out a little bit more. First of all, I can understand what you're saying about the connection between those two. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you this. DJ is going to make that connection as much as possible. Like, if there's no connection, that is going to be on Fields. That's just seeing a man play. Plus, he was mentored and unofficially coached by Steve Smith, who happens to be my favorite Panther. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying. But that's why I took the Bears. I think the Raiders do the Raiders, and with or without Derek Carr, they're still broken down.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at the depth chart here. They're actually thinking about starting Aiden O'Connell, the rookie this year, and watching him preseason. He likes a deep ball, and that's Devontae Adams all day. So I think that's where they're going to go here. Garoppolo can't throw the ball past 10 yards accurately. So Aiden O'Connell, I think, is the better issue with here. I think the Bears, I know DJ Moore he'll make that happen. If it doesn't happen, it's all on Justin Fields. We know that. But Justin Fields reminds me of a Dak Prescott. One read, take away his run read. He either runs the ball, which Dak doesn't do, Fields can do, or he overlooks his progression, just throwing it, trying to get the ball to the wrong person at the wrong time. Yeah. That's why I'm going with Oakland as well. Not good defense, but it all comes down to me with that Justin Fields connection, because I still am not a believer of Justin Fields. Probably never will, because it's an Ohio State thing, I guess. No quarterback is good from there ever.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Brian Hoyer was the last one to really actually had a winning record in the NFL. It's kind of crazy to think about that.
It is.
But let's go to the next game here. The Cleveland Browns, last week we all took the Niners here. They won against the Colts without Anthony Richardson, who's out for the entire season.
Is Minshew playing?
Gardner Minshew is the starting QB.
I think they're going to murder Minshew. I mean, I think the Colts are going to have a hard time on offense because, man, that Cleveland defense is legit. Like they are, dare I say, maybe a top 3 defense. I think they're that good.
And I think the word
top 5, they are good, man.
Yeah, and I think the word we want to use with their defense, top 5, silently top 5.
Yeah, they're quietly top 5. It's not someone you'd think of, but they got a pass rush that I think their defense is excellent. Mm-hmm. The issue has always been like what's their offense going to do? But PJ Walker, is he going to be playing? Is it going to be PJ Walker again?
I believe it is. I believe because Watson said his shoulder injury is still lagging, so he's playing maybe 2 to 3 weeks out still.
Might as well play Walker. He played well last week, and the Colts are not the 49ers.
Right.
So I can see PJ Walker having a solid game versus the Colts.
I agree.
Because the Colts don't have much of a defense either.
No. Jen, what do you have on this game?
I actually have Cleveland too.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, pretty much everything Dan just said. I mean, AR, that's a major loss. Yes. I am like huge. I'm impressed that he's being smart enough to go ahead and take care of it now, though.
Yep.
The shoulder injury, because I can think of so many quarterbacks that didn't take care of themselves, or they didn't have a coach like Andy Reid takes care of Patrick Mahomes, or Peterson takes care of Lawrence the last season and a half. When you see, a couple of years ago when the Chiefs, when Mahomes won his first Super Bowl, it wasn't the Chiefs' first Super Bowl. I think they won one in the 60s. And maybe, yeah. But, he had tweaked his knee during a game, and Andy Reid sat him out for 3 weeks to protect that. Not everybody coach is that selfless.
True.
And they won the Super Bowl with their franchise QB out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think this is the smartest move for the long run for the Colts, because Anthony Richardson has such a high ceiling.
Yep, he's picked very high too.
Yeah.
I think it was a smart issue that he took the surgery. A lot of rookies, they want to be on the field to earn the respect. But when you have that rookie that says, okay, I'll do the surgery, because God knows, man, he has to be something special out there, because when he shows glimpses, he can play. But it's just playing smart. Going down at the right time, living another day, as I always say. This kid wants to put everything on his back, run through tackles. It's the NFL, dude. You're a quarterback. That's not what we want you to do, But I think Cleveland's unanimous pick here this week. I think it might be a little route here. I think it's going to be about a 20-point game.
Yeah.
I really do. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Dan, let's go on to the next game here. Unanimously, we're taking the Buffalo Bills against the New England Patriots here. Ooh, wow. Were
you about to say the Jets?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say something else, but I just had a brain fart there for a second. But unanimously, we're taking the Buffalo Bills. So I think this is a AFC West match or AFC East matchup here. I think it's going to go one-sided. I think the Bills have too many weapons. Defense is playing strong. The Patriots, what do they have? They have Mac Jones, who can't. He's like Sam Darnold seeing ghosts to me. I don't get it. I don't get the
Sam Darnold's better than Mac Jones any day of the week.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying that's what he's going backwards.
He's not great. Sorry.
Zane says Bills 45, Pats 3. Damn. Okay.
That's a Patriots fan saying that.
Exactly. He speaks the truth on that one.
41-10.
Wow. Jen, what do you got this game? This game is very unanimous too, I believe, correct?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to try to kill him. I'll go 38-10.
Well, that's a pretty ass beating right there.
It
still is. It's only like 28 points though. So
I'm gonna be a little bit more generous. I'm gonna go 34-10 here. Bills here. So I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I think they coast through the game. I don't think they're gonna blow them. I don't think it's gonna be like a 50-point game here. But unanimous decision. But let's move on to next week. Well, Dan, I don't know if you're trying to make up ground here. I have no idea what you're doing here. But Dan and I are going to Washington, and you're going the hometown boys, the big blue power hour, New York Giants. Can you tell me why, Dan?
One, they seem to win against the Redskins. Seems to be the only division team they could get wins against in the past 5 seasons. So track record. Barkley seems to always plays well most of the time versus Washington. And I think their offensive line played well last week. I think they'll build off of that. And I think their defense will play well. I think their defense is finally starting to get into a groove with Okereke. And I think that's going to be a close game. I think the Giants are going to pull this one out. And they'll be at home, but they have a lot of success versus Washington. And Washington I don't know what to expect from them. Some weeks they do something good. Next week they're horrible. Next week they're good. So I think that the Giants will pull this one out. And they seem to have a track record of winning against them.
So what you're saying is take the only team that you can beat in the division, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not the worst idea. It's sound logic, I think.
Jen, why'd you take the Commanders here?
So
I believe in Ron. I believe in Sam Howell. But honestly, Dan, I know you love your Giants. I understand.
Washington.
I'm living in the past right now. I'm wearing a 22 Panthers jersey. So, but realistically, Daniel's hurt. He and Dayball are already having communication issues, leading to issues within the locker room. I mean, there's got to be something. Like, I mean, Dayball tried to throw his Microsoft tablet at him a couple of weeks ago.
It means nothing. That's 2 weeks ago.
Okay, honestly, I had Matt Rule as a coach, and he never threw a tablet at one of the players.
I'm telling you, they play well versus Washington usually.
No, I know they usually do, but you've got your backup quarterback, Tyrod, right?
They play well versus Washington with Joe Judge.
With Joe Judge.
Well versus Washington, yes.
And is he playing tonight or this weekend?
He was our head coach.
Well,
I'm telling you, the game is going to be close.
I agree.
I think it'll be close, but I do think the Commanders will pull it out.
If Sam Howell plays well, yes.
I'm going with the. You know what? I'll be the deciding factor, I guess. Here,
but I get your sentiment.
I'm just saying, start voting against them. They might start winning.
I picked against them last week.
Oh, that didn't work.
And they almost won.
Well, Dan, you know what? Be a little bit more confident in your talk there. You know, they say they're going to lose next week. They will win. Use the terminology Jen uses here.
I think they're going to win this week. That's all.
I win the first quarter against Miami.
You did. You know what? You know what? Damn it! I should have gave you a 0.25 on that one. You know that? Damn it! You know, I should have given you a 0.25. You know.
But I get why you would pick against the Giants. It makes sense to me as a Giants fan. Also, it does as bad as they've been. It makes sense. So
yeah, I'm just going with the Commanders. I think it's a week-to-week game with both of these guys. You never know what's going to happen with both teams here.
True.
The Giants. That
is true.
I don't think they have an identity yet. You know, Daniel Jones is not Daniel Jones. Go back to the RPO. Let him just run and gun the ball. Do that two-man game there. The defense is okay, but last week they were good against Buffalo. You know, so was Washington's defense. That front four, when they get after you, they can get after you. It all comes down to giving the ball to Brian Robinson more at the backfield because they're utilizing him. But get Gibson the ball, too, in the backfield, too. I want to see him get more carries. I want to see Jahan Dotson get some more catches out there. But it all comes down to Sam Howell. But I'm going with Howell this week. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to go something like a 2017 game.
It's going to be something like that. I think the Giants will win something like – it'll be something like that.
Gotcha.
3-4 points. It'll be less than a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dan, you know, hey, you're wishing on a well here, so that's 2 games before you can catch back up. But
I need to catch up somehow.
You do. Well, Dan, here's another.
I said player instead of coach. I don't know why I said that.
And Dan, real quick, where did you know where Joe Judge went to high school, right?
No.
With you?
My high school. Well, my
I did not know that.
St. Joe's Prep. St. Joe's Prep. Yes, he did.
I did not know that.
Joe Judge, St. Joe's Prep product. But all right, next week. I actually took the Buccaneers over the Falcons here. I'll tell you why. For some reason, I just like the way Baker Mayfield plays. To me, crowd doesn't bother him. That Georgia Dome the Mercedes place is not going to bother him. He's a guy that goes out there and plays every game. I think they pull out a close game.
At Tampa or at?
I believe it's Atlanta. In Georgia this week. It's at Georgia. Oh, it's at Tampa. I'm sorry.
It's Atlanta.
Tampa.
Oh no, it's in.
It?
It's in Tampa. It's in Tampa. We're home. Well, I might want to flip my script there a little bit, but wow, because he plays.
I'm just looking at the.
Yeah, Tampa's at home, but I'm still going to go Tampa here. I still believe him. Is Mike Evans back? I know he was a little banged up. Is he back now?
I am not 100% sure. I don't follow the Bucs
because I read that he is playing this week, so I think that is going to be a connection game.
Probably not, maybe not 100% if he plays. That's big for the Bucs.
True, but I think I'm going to go Baker Mayfield here. I'm still on the little wagon here. So I'm going to go Tampa Bay for just a pick'em game for me. Jen, I'll let you go with the Falcons here.
Honestly, it's just Mercedes Dome Stadium. Falcons fans, and here's the thing. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, I will not say they do this in New Orleans. I think they do, but I don't remember, to be honest with you. But, remember in COVID when all their stadiums started like piping in noise? Yeah, the Falcons were doing that before COVID, during COVID, after COVID. It's kind of hard. To me, it's possible, obviously. I don't know. I like Baker Mayfield a lot. I like him a lot more than Ridder. I had a funny conversation or quick snippet of a conversation with Mrs. Mayfield last year during Radio Row. Well, not at Radio Row, at an event. But I don't know. And I like Tampa Bay. Like I've told y'all before, I like Tampa Bay because they're a reputable organization and their fans are, they're not assholes. Sorry. But they're cool. And the players are respectful. Like that's what it does for me. Like if your players are not respectful, things like that. Just so you know, that's how I judge teams I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, since you're the 2-1 split here against me, why are we going Falcons here?
Oh, I do agree it's a pick'em game. I do think any team can win this game, but I'm just picking the Falcons just because I think they're going to win. It's a pick'em. I didn't know who to pick in this game. I had no idea who to pick, and I just picked the Falcons.
I mean, I think there could be one X factor in this game, and I think it could be Kyle Pitts.
Play?
He is playing, but that's the X factor to me. If they use him right, exactly, that's the thing.
But sometimes Ritter plays well. So he's played well in some games this year. Others have been bad.
Oh, he's made some bad rookie decisions. Not being a rookie, he's made the decisions that are bad. But if he finds Kyle Pitts, that could open up the X factor for this game.
Definitely a pick-em game, though. I would definitely say that. I think they can get their run game going.
I agree.
Go ahead. Mike is playing this weekend.
He is? Okay, good. Okay.
That is big for them.
That helps me out a little bit. Even if
now I kind of want to switch my vote to the Bucks.
Oh, you want to go Bucks?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you that. But it's going to cost you half a point on that one, though. No, I'm just joking.
I don't care.
All right, I'll switch that.
I'm sorry to leave you, Dan.
That's all right.
All right, Jen is going Bucks. I'll give everybody one chance to switch a game if you want to. Okay, we'll do that.
No, I need the Jags and my team to win.
Dan, you're just going again. You're just going off the boat here. You don't even care. You're just taking whatever I don't take to get a win here. That's what you're doing.
Then I would have done all the other games then.
Well, I think the other games are kind of obvious because it's funny that if we look at the last games here, we are all unanimous on the last 6 games here. But let's go into
picked the Cardinals almost.
Dan, they screwed you last week.
It's in Seattle.
They screwed you last week, Dan.
I know, and that too. Yes, exactly.
Well, let's go Lions. Let's go Ravens here. I'm telling you, the Lions are playing some ball here. They are a dark horse to make the NFC Championship here. I think they could if they stay healthy and they still believe in Dan Campbell. I really think they can get there.
He's a good coach.
Jen, why are we taking the Lions over the Ravens?
Honestly, okay, I can't remember the percentage. I just messaged him. I meant to message him before. But I have a very good friend or Facebook friend, Dom Zarubis. And he was telling me at one point that I think it's for the last 5 years, the Lions have beat this spread. It's a high percentage, like 70 or 80%. I just messaged him and I'm like, hey, what was the percentage you told me?
Yeah, I bet a lot with DraftKings, and I think their ATS against the spread here is over almost 58%, 60%, something like that. In the last couple
something
weeks.
Pretty high.
Even as an underdog, yes.
That's why I went with them. And honestly, I really like what Campbell's doing. I'm saying a lot tonight. I'm sorry, guys. That's just why I like the Lions. They've beat the odds. They continuously beat them. And Baltimore has a short week and jet lag.
Yes, very true.
Or not a short week, but jet lag. Yeah. For some reason in my mind they're playing tonight. Don't know why I gave them TNF.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I mean, you figure, London, of course, but that travel day is actually a recoup day, and you're still going to be, way out of time zone. So that's true. You're going on a short week minus a day, basically, from jet lag.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Dan, what do you got? Why are we taking the Lions here?
The Lions look really good. I think they're more complete than the Ravens are. Their offense is tough to stop. They could run the ball at will, and they have a lot of weapons. I think that Baltimore. I think it's going to be a close game. But I think the Lions just look much better than Baltimore does right now, just as a team overall, and they're really well coached. I think they'll be prepared for this game, and I think they're gonna run the ball a good amount in this game.
Yeah, I agree. Detroit Lions have the weapons. They're believing for their coach, Campbell here, the way he talks, the way he preaches it.
Good.
They're playing for him. The defense, now is Gardner Johnson, he's still out, correct?
I'd have to check on that.
I believe he still is, but still they haven't used him at all. He's been out, and they've still been playing some defense here.
Yeah, they haven't even had him, so I don't think they're going to struggle in that department. And how many you have Lamar Jackson, and how many other weapons do they have? You got to slow Lamar Jackson down. If you could do that, their defense isn't horrible. And that's really what you're looking for. They're not a passing team, really. They're
exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'm not really worried about them letting me up in the pass game.
Yeah, and one thing I read on Twitter this morning, actually, was it yesterday or today, that OBJ is basically frustrated from a news reporter down there talking to him. He came over here to win. Well, Lamar Jackson said he wants to throw for 4,500 yards per year. We know he can't do that. We know he don't do that. He can run.
He doesn't have to do that. Throw for 35, 30, 100, and run for 800 to 1,000.
But OBJ's
35 total touchdowns, whatever.
Yeah, OBJ's pissed off because he's only had 13 looks this year, and I think 5 catches and maybe 200 yards for the whole season.
Look, I would be using Odell Beckham if he's healthy. I'd be using the guy.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I don't think that Lamar Jackson can read defenses. I think he looks, he's a faster Dak Prescott to me. Not great accuracy, but if you stare down with one receiver and take it away, you struggle. That's Lamar Jackson.
That's another thing. I think that. Versus a team like the Lions who are good on both sides of the ball, especially on defense, it's might not work out too well for them.
Yeah, Jen, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say exactly. Like, also, I think that Odell was good.
Yeah.
He was good. Let me see.
He's not what he used to be, but he's still solid, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
He is, but so I actually like the Giants. Just so you know, Dan. I don't hate on them at all. But I love how excited you got there.
I get fired up about my team.
I do too. I'm excited we can't lose this weekend. But I don't know. There's some switch. 2015, 2016 with Odell. And I think he got too big for his britches. And I think he may have had a Robbie Anderson or Chosen Anderson, whatever he's going by today, mentality issue. And
early in his career, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he he really goes for, and I think he's going back to that. And I think that's why Lamar may not be targeting him as much. Yeah. Because Lamar wants to share with the team, right?
Of course.
And Odell wasn't taught how to share.
Well, Odell wants to be the number one guy. He's not that guy anymore.
Everybody wants to be the number one guy.
And maybe he's going there expecting that. But also, I don't watch their film. I don't watch their alt-weight. I don't know if Odell is open or not, and Lamar Jackson can't make the reads, and maybe it's legitimately upset, but I think it's because he wants the ball, obviously.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, to me, OBJ last year really showed me something. He's a great player. Before the injury, I want to say that 2 ACLs, of course. But last year I learned a lot from him. I always called him the diva. The first couple of years, great player. Then it turned into a diva situation. Being last year as a free agent, so many rumors, Dallas. Mm-hmm. I said I don't want him because of the fact, one thing he said, I won't be ready until later in the season when we're in the playoffs. That rang a bell to me like, dude, you don't want to be a team player to me. You want to be that go-to guy. Why do you want to sit out the entire season and have the team, the other 52-man roster, do the work for you? Come in just like the Super Bowl, catch a ball. It's a different story here. I don't like that situation. Be there with your team, or you know what? Hey, get outside. Go outside.
Come on the practice squad when you're ready, like you're rehabbing. Then when you're ready, you come up. That way you know the offense. Like me, if I'm going to play on a team, I'll not wait until the playoffs. I want to get in there as soon as I can. Mm-hmm. That way I could hit the ground running if I happen to be healthy enough to play.
Agree, 100%.
In playoff time.
Well, let's go to the next game. Speaking of OBJ, his former team here, Rams. Go, Jen. Go ahead.
Okay, so my buddy Dom just messaged me back, and he's like, I don't know if he's watching or not. I'm going to tell him to. But he said that at least 50%, so like we were spot on with like the 60. He said, with the Ravens getting the standard 3 points as the home team, it's essentially a pick 'em. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be a low-scoring game because of the defensive struggle. And he said, and this is something that I hadn't thought about, the Lions don't do well against mobile quarterbacks.
They do have Hutchinson.
They do have Hutchinson on the edge, though. I mean, if they play like a wider situation with the linebackers coming up, I think they can make Lamar make some bad reads, and I think they can keep him in the pocket here.
Well, that's the key to the game is Lamar Jackson being able to do what he does.
Right.
If
You
the
take away
Lions
his
could
legs
slow
first.
him down or stop him, then I see the Lions. That's why I see the Lions win the game. All you got to do is slow him down.
Right.
But a lot of people do bad versus Lamar Jackson. But teams have shown sometimes he'll play well, and then like last week he played good, and sometimes he'll play bad. You never know with him.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that -3 here or -2, -3 in that category is always your home field advantage, no matter what you are.
Yeah,
and that just says you're a pick 'em number one. This game's a toss up, but I got to go with the weapons here. That's why I'm going Lions. I got to go with the weapons.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. I think they're a more complete team, top to bottom, than the Ravens are.
Real quick, Eileen says all these games have maybe one or two just like terrible games this week. I agree. I mean, I actually like this week. I really do. Certain games that stand out to me, of course, this is one of the games here, Lions, Ravens. I want to see how this pans out because if you can contain Lamar Jackson, could be a different ball game. You know,
Yeah,
if you
absolutely.
he gets loose. It could be a long day. I mean, he could be like, playing PlayStation 5 here, with Lamar Jackson. You never know with this guy, But let's go to OBJ's last team, the Rams here, playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in LA, SoFi Stadium. We're all taking the Rams here. Why are we taking the Rams?
Taking the Rams because Pittsburgh has like no offense most of the time. The Rams also are starting to look pretty good, like as a team overall. They look good versus Arizona, and they're better than Arizona. I mean, the Rams are I think the Rams are just a much better team and they just a couple of years removed from a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
2-3 years. So
and
Pittsburgh just doesn't have enough offense to win.
Let's all be honest with that one. The reason why they didn't make it back because all them damn injuries. 18 players on IR or
exactly. If they were healthy, they would have probably at least been in the NFC title game possibly last year.
Injuries killed them.
Yeah.
Jen, why are we going Rams?
I'm going Rams because for several reasons. One, I like Goff. And he's pretty solid, especially when the pressure is on. And you're right, like injuries killed them last year. That's what held them back.
You mean Stafford, right? Stafford.
Did I say Goff?
Yeah, you said Goff.
His old team. That's his old
Sorry,
team.
long work day. But also the Rams own this series. Yeah. So they have they played. I'm cheating right now. They played 27 times, including one playoff game. And the Rams have won 15 to the Steelers 10 games. And then honestly, I don't know.
Is this a toss-up? Is this a toss-up?
Steelers are too old. They really need to start getting youth in there. I may be wrong, but they need an injection of youth. They need some pizzazz. Flores needs to step up whatever he's doing. Tomlin ain't going anywhere, and Tomlin's a great coach, but
never been under 500.
True,
never ever
career in the NFL.
It's not on Tomlin. However, he also has only gone to one Super Bowl game.
True.
Yeah, and I think that was a team that really Bill Cowher that he inherited too.
Yep,
really a lot of the players.
Absolutely. His first season.
Yeah. So he inherited pretty much a team. I mean, going back to the Dallas Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer. It's you inherit the team. Tony Dungy, Gruden. You inherit a team basically. But I mean, I live near Pittsburgh. I live an hour from Pittsburgh, and you're exactly right, Jen. They have no identity here. Listen to the radio up here. It's like
none.
Fire this guy, fire that guy. We'll get rid of Tomlin. The next guy calls in. Tomlin ain't going nowhere. This, that, and the other thing. I called in a couple of times. I was like, man, what you guys need is that one player that is the name factor. Kenny Pickett. They took him because he's from Pittsburgh University, the hometown boy. I seen stickers on people's cars says Kenny Pickett is the savior. Well, what is he saving for you guys? You guys have no identity. I would have took Pittsburgh. Maybe would have bounced me a little bit to that direction if they were home because that defense plays at home. For some reason, it's the defense, but I don't care if you hold the team, to 10 points. You ain't scoring 13 points. There's no identity. So, and the Rams, my God, I love Cooper Kupp coming back healthy, and that kid Paku. Pick your poison with these guys. They're playing good, and Stafford, he's one of those guys that I don't care who gets the ball. If you're open, I'm going to sling the ball to you no matter what.
Well, he is like that. He does spread the ball around. Yeah.
Yep, and their defense is playing too. Yeah. All right, so that's unanimous too. We're unanimous all the way down here. Next week, since Dan, I'll let you start because I want to know why you thought about taking the Cardinals with this game. I want to know why first, but you're going Seahawks.
I thought about it for a split second, but then I realized, Seahawks are at home.
The 12th man.
Like if it was in Arizona, maybe. But
really, you're being serious? You're being serious with that?
No, I'm probably picking Seattle.
Okay.
But Seattle, if they they have a lot more talent in their home, and they have weapons. They could run the football.
Mm-hmm.
And Arizona, is Connor playing for Arizona? I don't know if he's playing.
I think he's still limited this week too.
I think that Seattle's going to win this game, but mostly because they're at home, but they are the better football team for sure as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's a division game; anything could happen.
True.
But I see Seattle win this game.
True. Jen,
I picked Seattle also. Mm-hmm. I mean, 12th man. The NFL needs to go ahead and pay for sign language instructors to go to each team, because that's how you need to communicate there. Gino is also just that guy. Like, he's that dude. Like, when we were talking PJ earlier, like, in my mind, I kind of equate Gino and PJ. But Gino was a starter. PJ was a starter, but for the XFL. So I don't know if that starter counts. Mm-hmm. But they, I mean, it's going to be Seattle. Arizona's been crumbling so hard for so long. And it's sad. Like, I see Kyler's talents being wasted. It's just, I don't know. It's pathetic sad.
Yeah, I got to go Seattle here. I've in the beginning of the season here on other shows, I said Seattle's probably top 4 team. I mean, not 1, 2, 3. I could put them at 4 and 5, either them or the Lions, but the Lions have to come up higher for me this week, of course, the way they're playing. But Seattle was one of my top 5 teams going into the preseason, especially picking up in Jackson and Jigba Smith. I'm a big Ohio State guy. I'm not rooting for them, but I've always watched them. And, Ohio State's become wide receiver university. You can't go wrong going there. And to me, they have the weapons. It all falls on Geno Smith. And looking back last year, how he played. So I have to go Seattle here. And the funny thing is, Arizona, they're 1 and 5, and their only win is against my Dallas Cowboys. That's, wow, I can't believe that. But that proves anything can happen any week. But sorry, Cardinal fans, it ain't happening this week. But Seattle has way too many weapons, and the 12th man is there. So you better learn a silent count, because you're going to need it this week, as Jen said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, let's move on here. We got the Green Bay Packers against the Denver Broncos in Mile High here. I mean, we're all unanimous here. Why are we taking Green Bay? Jen, I'll let you go first on this one.
Denver's been a hot mess. They'll be a hot mess. They screwed up after 2015 Super Bowl. Sean Payton thought he could come in on his white horse, and now Sean Payton's doing the Matt Rule thing and throwing his players under the bus. Like, Sean, Russell's won. Super Bowl's 2, baby. So be nice to your starting quarterback, because you were the dumbass that came out of retirement.
Yeah.
And I think Jordan Love's playing tonight, right? Or this weekend? I keep saying tonight. I don't know why I keep doing that. Jordan Love has the backing of his entire locker room.
Exactly.
He's bringing that solidarity. He's bringing that team atmosphere. Like, he's their dude. He's their dude. And they're going to protect him. And it's something that the players have wanted for a long time, especially with the craziness of Rodgers and am I, aren't I? It's going to be, and again, Denver's a hot mess. Payton has to work his magic on them. I have to not roll my eyes at Payton, but I struggle with that. But yeah, Payton will end up building them the way he wants them. Y'all just have to be patient. Quit talking about Deion coming in and being the head coach of the Broncos.
Oh, let's stop that.
Shut the front door.
Exactly.
Like, do y'all really want Deion? Do y'all really think Deion Sanders would be a good NFL head coach?
No, I'll say my piece when it comes time. Dan, why are we going unanimous here, Green Bay?
Because the Broncos suck. No.
Yeah.
I think the Broncos have. I know the Broncos have Wilson, but I think Green Bay is just the better football team right now, and the Broncos just look like they can't do anything right, and they don't really have a defense. And I think that Jordan Love will have a good game in this game. I just think the Packers are going to win it, but the Packers can go play a horrible game, but I don't think Denver really has much to win this game. Maybe Wilson will play well, but I think the Packers will win.
Yeah, I don't think I need to say any more. Denver
Even if
sucks.
It's in Denver.
Yeah, Denver sucks. They have nothing to play. But I want Jen, since you mentioned that Deion Sanders, I can't stand him, honestly. I love him as a player, what he did. But going to Colorado, to me, we talked about this on the College Football Frenzy. And we got Keith Conlon on our show. He called the Goon. He played for Penn State. We were talking to him about this, and he rang a bell to me where I said, what do you think about Deion Sanders? And he told me he was like a great coach for money, not a great coach on the field. You practice what you preach. You want the money, but preach. You care about the players. You care about this. You care about that. And I said, what about moving on to the next level? And I said my piece first, and he totally agreed. I want to know what you guys think. You coach in college. You're coaching players who now get money. $1 million NIL deals. You're playing for this. You're playing for that. But you're playing for an opportunity to play to the next level. So you're going to play 150% every play of the game. When you come to the NFL, you're dealing with divas. That is totally different from college. That shit you're talking about in college,
totally different.
This and that, play for my son's watch, play for this and that. That ain't going to happen in the NFL because 99% of these players make more money than you will ever in your entire life in 1 year as a coach.
Yep.
And then, sorry, Dan, just what he had started to do with the HBCUs was great.
Right.
Of course.
But following your train of thought, there's been 2 college coaches who've made in the NFL. One of them went back to college 3 times before they found their home with the Seahawks.
Are we talking about Nick Saban?
No.
He was one of the ones.
I have an unpopular opinion on Nick Saban.
Okay, because he was the one that couldn't hack it. Just left in a day.
Yeah, he couldn't. Pete Carroll, because remember Pete Carroll,
USC.
Yeah, he came and went back 3 times before he finally settled with Seahawks.
Yeah.
And then Jerry Johnson.
Oh, Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. God, I'm sorry. I'll take a nap next week if I am invited back.
You know what? If this was like PTI or Around the Horn, I think I was going to take a point away from you, Jen, today.
I'm sorry. Let me stop drinking power and I'll go back to my coffee.
No, Jimmy Johnson, I agree with you 100%. Pete Carroll with USC. I mean, you look at those teams that he had in Miami, Jimmy Johnson, arguably probably one of the top 5 teams ever in the college football history at Miami Hurricanes. Go to Pete Carroll, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart. He even had, Carson Palmer a year. Those people that he played and he progressed, one hell of a college coach moving up to the next level. And Jen, what you said about, the coach here for Denver, Sean Payton, arguably only thing I can say bad about him, it's going to take him 3 to 4 years because they are in hell right now with the draft picks. They gave so many picks, 3 first rounds, 3 second round picks for Russell Wilson. They're going to have to either go out to the free agency or find players and on the street to play here because you're not building that team through the draft picks anymore, and you don't have your team. You don't have your team, Sean Payton.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have the cap, and they don't have the draft capital either. So,
okay. Ken Fry says, "What's up, guys? Jimmy G is ruled out for Sunday." I'm still now, Ken. If you're still watching, Ken works the night shift and he's probably asleep right now. But is Aiden O'Connell playing? That's why I took Oakland. Damn Oakland shit. Jen, you rubbed off on me, damn it.
I'm sorry, Paul. Dan, you gotta babysit your ADD people over here. Come on, what's up with
know. You? I didn't take my Adderall this morning. I haven't taken my afternoon Adderall yet, so that's why I think I'm like this. But I think Aiden O'Connell's playing. I would rather him see him than Boyer play. So, but I agree with you, Dan. What do you think about this? I know we're off subject here, but talk to me about Deion. What do you think? A pro coach? I don't think so.
I would stay in college a while, but I don't know if it's totally different in the pros. Like how you handle stuff, how you handle players. It's just a totally different animal. So I would slow down on talking about him in the NFL. Let's see if he could do something at Colorado. Let's see if he could stay there consistently 2, 3, 4 years and do something with them.
You know what? To be honest,
then maybe I'll believe it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest with you. I watch all the games, college. I watch more college than pro. Dan, you know me. I'm up at 12 noon to 2 o'clock in the morning watching 5 games at a time on my screen. But I do think he will stay at Colorado for probably 4 to 5 years. Reason being, I think he can win a national championship in the next 4 to 5 years. I'll say it right now. Reason being, he is going to get the best players in the country to go to him. Number one, he knows that Deion, or I still call him Deion, I can't stand Coach Prime. Deion will get him the players and the money to go along with that contract, playing under that. If he can coach him right, play the team as was last year, 18 starters on offense and defense from the transfer portal in 1 year only. So I think
impressive.
Exactly. I think if he keeps the team and they go there for the money and the right reasons to play, I think he can build a team. But Deion, just stay there, brother. Just stay there.
We'll slow down with the NFL talk. Like just
exactly.
Can I ask another off-topic question?
You can ask. This is out of the box. You can ask anything the hell you want.
Awesome. Okay. In my mind, so we all know college coaches are like more bully, right?
True.
Bully, yes. Yeah. So, which is why Deion fits in perfectly there. And with NIL and these players starting to make those Benjamins, how long can those college coaches continue to be bullies?
Great question. That is a great question. Dan, you want to go first?
I am not sure, to be honest. I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I'll tell you.
Like you'd have to have incentives or stipulations or something like that when they sign for your school, I guess. I mean, I think that's the only way to do it.
Now, we had Matt Groth on the show about 4 weeks ago. He's a former UFC quarterback down Florida at the Bulls. And I talked to him about NIL deals. And I think I pretty much asked him the same question here regarding, the player situation now. Can the coaches become the same type coach here and be a bully to those type of people? The thing that I learned last week was one of my favorite quarterbacks. He's not my favorite quarterback. I know him personally. Kyle McCord from Ohio State University. I know him personally. He's been to my house quite a few times. He drives a $135,000 Mercedes-Benz that was given to him before the start of the season. Now, Ryan Day, his annual salary is $2.1 million per year. Kyle McCord makes $1.9 million a year. Plus, every year for the rest of his life, he gets a brand new Mercedes of his choice. You mean to tell me that a coach like Ryan Day...
Is he single?
He is single.
I can get a divorce.
I have his phone number.
All right. Actually, I have a single friend. Let me give you her number.
No problem. Hey, Kyle, if you're listening out there, look, I got the perfect girl for you. Okay. There you go. But I agree. I don't think they can be bullies. A lot of the coaches back in the day, like I'm a Notre Dame guy. Marcus Freeman is a dictator. He goes his way. But my favorite Notre Dame coach was Lou Holtz, 5'5", 85 pounds. He took no shit. And he gave he didn't care. My way. That's what I want to see. But that's a great question. That is a great question, Jen. Can they still wait? Nick Saban. Imagine Nick Saban in a couple of years when these guys are he makes $9 million a year. I get that.
He'll make more. They'll make sure he gets to keep making more.
They're going to rename the stadium Saban Stadium pretty soon. I guarantee that. Yep. Leland says, yes, here's one right here.
I think he's seen better days, though. I think he needs to ponder retirement.
Shedeur Sanders drives a Rolls Royce.
Who?
Shedeur Sanders, Deion's son.
Oh.
Yep. And Leland, I know you're watching. Didn't he spend over $80,000? Yeah. Didn't he spend $80,000? I don't know where he got the NIL money. And Keller coded his car to the Colorado Buffaloes color, the Rolls Royce.
His dad could just buy him the car. It's his dad.
Well, listen, we did a show on College Football Frenzy. The top NIL deal this year was Caleb Williams at $3.7 million. Then it was Travis Hunter, the cornerback wide receiver for Colorado, I think 3.2. Archie Manning was 3.1. And then the other one was Angel Reese from LSU.
That's crazy.
Drake May in the offseason.
Yes, Drake May too. He's like a 1.7 or something, I think it was.
He turned down a $10 million NIL deal.
Oh.
He turned down, the highest was 10. There was a 9 and an 8. Turned it down, but his whole family's like Carolina royalty.
Sure.
And honestly, I can't wait to see him in the pros. And no offense to Mr. Young, I knew our O-line was not built for Bryce. I would rather see a quarterback go to a team where the O-line's built for you. You've already got you may have some things. Our O-line is still currently built for somebody like Drake May.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, Dan, remind me. That's a topic we can use on all the shows, about college football. Remind me this Wednesday. I'll run that topic again because that's a great. Dan, I'm glad
it's
you
a good
that.
conversation.
It is. There's so many. Like we want to do a debate show. If you're interested, let me know about that. You can bring anybody on that you want. I'd love to do that because there's so many hidden topics out there that my thing is I believe this. Jen, you might believe different. Dan might believe opposite as well. I love talking debate because nobody, right or wrong, it's an opinionated thing. I love hearing it because your job to me is make me believe you're right. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to feel. But let's move on here. I mean,
okay, sorry, I took us off topic twice.
Oh, it's good. No, it's good. Hey, listen, we love doing that. That's why it makes the show because you never know what the hell happens. Let's go. Chargers here coming off a loss to Dallas here versus the Kansas City Chiefs who just signed Mecole Hardman. He's back.
Well, he's injured, so that's surprising. It's good to get him back. It's another weapon they have.
Yeah,
and he knows the playbook.
He knows the playbook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plug and play. So I know we're unanimously here with the Chiefs here. Is there any way that I'll just put it easy? Is there any way the Chargers can win this game?
Yeah, their offense is really good, so I don't see why they can't win the game.
True.
But but Kansas City just seems to somehow find a way to win in games like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both going to score 30.
I think it's
or more.
We go 6-0. I mean 7-0 this weekend.
What's that?
Casey's winning.
I agree. I think they are too.
Yeah, I think Kansas City's going to win, but I don't think they'll blow them out. I think they'll both score 30-something points.
That's why Travis is dating Taylor to distract the opposing teams.
Something like that.
Sorry.
It's so Jen. It's so funny you said that. Me and my buddy, he lives in California, and every week he's a Chiefs fan. I don't know why, but he's a Chiefs fan, and he actually every week we do a bet, $20 bet, gentleman's bet between both of us, and our over and unders how many times they show Taylor Swift at the game. And that is our bet. That is our real bet every week. I usually take 8. Last week, I think he took the over, and I think it was 11 times total. They showed Taylor Swift, either a picture of her or something or rather of her. I was like, you got to be kidding me. It's the Taylor Fest game, or Taylor Swift game. It's not.
Care less about Taylor Swift.
Me too. I'm not a Swift.
I mean, I want to go to her concert, but I want to go as press. So Taylor, and if you're peeps or if you're watching me, I've applied. So please approve.
There you go. Well, maybe when the Chiefs ever come down to your neck of the woods, Carolina, there you go, right?
I don't care. Oh, I want to go see her concert.
I've never been to a concert. About that. I've actually, crazy thing is, Jen, last year I bought 2 Super Bowl tickets. I was blessed enough to get them, okay? And I bought them for $1,248 each. Sales tax was like $2,600 total. I sold them for $13,000 each last year.
I wish I'd known you since I was on Radio Row. I'd been like, "Hi, it would be nice."
I sold them, and what helped me out, it was an Eagles fan that bought them, and thank God the Eagles made it last year and lost because that's who I sold them to. But I bought Taylor Swift tickets up here for the PPG Arena, and they were like $184. I bought 4 of them. I sold them for $700 each. Those Swifties,
yep.
They don't care. They do not care. They don't care.
Okay, so it's not Taylor, but when I lived uptown, it's kind of sad note, my mother-in-law passed away, but Garth Brooks was coming, did 2 shows the day after. So we moved to a suburb right after she passed away to help my father-in-law out and all that good stuff. Well, we didn't have to pay anything because we had to get out of our lease early. Because I gave my apartment manager 2 nights of Garth Brooks concert tickets.
Wow.
Nice.
And because we played everything on time, and honestly, like there was another loophole in there too. But I was like, okay, that works. But I really liked my apartment manager too. She was really kick-ass. She was really nice.
That's good. That's good.
Sorry, I'm off topic again tonight.
No, it's all good. Leland says with Hardman back, Casey's about to tear that shit up. I agree.
Yeah, probably.
That guy can fly. If he's healthy, he's a plug and play guy. To me, Mahomes is the type guy. He don't care who you are. Yes, Kelsey's elite. We know that. He's his go-to guy, but he don't care who you are. Watson out there.
You're open, he'll throw it to you.
Yeah, you're open. He's going to give it to you ball. And KC loves those hybrid scat back, running back, wide receiver guys. Mecole Hardman is one of those guys that I think it's another weapon. You give a guy, a 6 shooting gun, he's going to make it happen. And this is what they gave him, another bullet in the gun.
Yep.
Very simple. Yep. But let's go to I think this is going to be my game of the week here. The Miami Dolphins versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Do the Eagles bounce back? Does Miami continue to run this track meet?
I think Miami's
win. I'll take it.
Go ahead.
Miami, only because the Eagles cannot win a second half.
Ooh. And they have a lot of injuries too.
Yes,
they do. And the Eagles haven't had a second half in 2 or 3 years. And sorry, it's just, and the Dolphins have been building, like a lot of the success McDaniels is seeing is built off Flores. And I mean, they haven't had a lot of trades. They truly haven't. And McDaniels is doing a great job. I'm not saying otherwise. But they've been voting for this.
Real quick, Leland says, without Lane Johnson. Now, Leland, I did see that he actually is questionable over this game. There is no huge injury is what they're saying. I did look at their website today. I was talking to a friend of mine who does a press thing down there, Billy Press Box Bill, and he was telling me he is 80% going to play, but 80% is better than nothing. He says without Lane Johnson, no. He also says Eagles win because they want revenge for last week. I understand that factor, but just like Ken said, putting together a 4-quarter game, that's something the Eagles have not done, and that's something I've seen. Miami, listen, if they get up early or even get behind, they find ways to win with Daniel's offense. I think they can run a track meet. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. They want to slow down the game. They can run Achane. They can run Mostert, okay? Yep. They can run the ball to you. They can pound you. On offense, if they're behind, God, they have the weapons, too, to come back in the game. Their defense, if you guys have Lane Johnson or not, I think Bradley Chubb is going to play a little bit faster game. I think the Eagles lose this week.
I think they lose this week. I think it'll be a close game, but they also have trouble on the back end of their defense.
True.
And versus a team like Miami, it's going to be tough. I don't think they're going to get crushed, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Miami's offense.
I agree. And the other thing is, yes, the defensive line for the Eagles is elite. That front four.
It is.
Regardless of the linebacker. The linebackers are not great. I mean, they're not great, but that front four rotation, insane. Arguably probably the best in the league to me.
What they're going to do? They're going to get the ball out fast.
Right. I mean, the only thing that I can see
that's what Miami's going to do.
The Eagles have to get to Tua fast, get him out of the pocket, get him out of the lane. Because if you don't get to Tua and you give these wide receivers 4 to 5 seconds, Tyreek Hill, Waddle are getting behind
2.5, 3.
Right, they're going to get behind you, and you're not going to cover these guys for 4 seconds. You know what I mean? You're not going to.
No way.
No,
yep.
It's not going to happen.
I want to ask you, what kind of score are we looking at here? The over and under is 64 on this week.
31-28 or something.
Close game. Okay. Jim,
I think it's going to be close.
I agree.
The Eagles are a good football team.
The
Eagles are still a really good football team, so I don't think they're going to get blown out.
Yeah, no, they're not going to get blown out by any stretch.
The Miami's just got a lot more firepower in this game. And like I said, the Eagles have trouble on their back end, and they have a lot of injuries on their defense as well.
Yeah.
So, something like that.
Jen, what score do you got for this game? Kind of curious.
27-21.
I like that. I think I'm in the same boat as you. I think it's going to be probably a 4 to 5 point game here. I don't think it's going to even. I think I'm going to go the under. I'll probably go the under because we always say those 2 track meet teams that can score offensively. These teams somehow those games predominantly go to the lower side of the week here. The scoring wise,
go that way.
Yeah, I'm going to go 28. I'm going to go 28-23. Dolphins. Yeah, I think it's going to be a low scoring. But I think this is a game to watch.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a little more high scoring because both these offenses, when they get going, they could score a lot of points.
Yeah.
So I do think it'll be less than a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, this could go either way. If somebody can get out early, it's going to be, Tua either passing the ball like crazy or Jalen Hurts throwing the ball like crazy. Because if you get behind, DeAndre Swift, Achane and Mostert are not going to be a factor in this game. They're just going to light the ball up and downfield. So we'll see how this pans out. But
if Miami blows it up in the first half and the Eagles do not keep it up, it's a blowout.
God,
I agree.
Leland says 35-27. But that's what I'm saying. The Eagles, they're going to have to keep up on offense. I don't see them shutting down them entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hurts is under tremendous pressure. That is very true. I mean, you signed one of the biggest contracts out there, and I checked into a podcast earlier last night, and I was watching their Eagles podcast, and they said, when you watch podcasts, they believe in your own team. It's good to have outsiders join you all the time to bring you back down to reality. Of course, that's why I love doing a Cowboy show. People bring me back down to reality. I try to keep it truthful. But I seen something last night where they said, I chimed in and I said, Hurts isn't living up to the contract. Has he been figured out, or is it living up to his contract? Which is it? I think it's a little bit of both. Because if you take away the RPO from the Eagles, with the running backs that they had last year, he doesn't look the same. Because why? He looks to run the ball first. And I think it's a little bit different outside the pocket, making the wrong decisions downfield, trying to make the big play. Because I think Sirianni has taken that run away from him. Don't run the ball anymore. We need you for 17 games. So I think that plays in his head too. I think that plays in his head. And the contract too.
Yeah, I think it does also. I think that if you just pressure him and you got to depend just on his arm, that's not what the Eagles want to do. They want to be balanced. They want to run the RPO. I don't know if you want to depend on Hurts' arm necessarily. Last year, he was able to run the ball, and the RPO was very successful. True. And their offensive line, they were able to run the ball, but I'm the same way. I don't want him running as much, but sometimes you have to. But it I just don't. I don't know. I think you want to be able to run the ball and have him not throwing the ball 45 times.
If you look at their past games, yes, A.J. Brown has had 4 100-yard games back-to-back, 4 in a row. Yeah. But Devontae Smith, you pick your poison. You take away one of those guys downfield, the other's going to have a great game. But the number one thing is you take away Jalen Hurts' legs first. Just like Danny Jones last year, Dan.
Make him one-dimensional.
Make him one-dimensional. You take that RPO away from him, you make him beat me with your arm. You don't want to get hurt. So the quarterbacks are taking away that. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Yes, he can run the ball, but the dude makes the right damn decisions at the right damn time.
Most of the time he does,
most of the times he does.
Always do that.
Either I'm going to the first down's 4 and 12. I'm going to get 13. I'm going out of bounds, or I'm sliding. I'm living another day. These other quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson. I hope you heard this because we're talking about primarily you.
He runs with a plan. He runs when he needs to.
Exactly.
And he doesn't risk his body most of the time.
Agree.
He's smart about it, and that's how Hurts needs to run the ball.
Yeah.
Not with reckless abandonment, not taking a ton of contact. And you just want to get the first down, get yards, get out of bounds, or slide.
Gotcha. Well, let's go to the last game here. San Francisco. CMC. He's limited in practice, and I see Debo's limited too. Does that make a huge difference? Are we going to change our mind, or are we still going Niners here?
I'm not changing my mind. I think one of them will play.
I think one of them,
limited practice, both of them could play, maybe not 100%.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers are the better team, and Kirk Cousins doesn't play well in prime time.
And no Justin Jefferson still.
And no Justin Jefferson. So that really makes their offense not very good. Got Justin Jefferson, maybe, but I don't think they're going to beat the 49ers.
Agree.
I think Minnesota's have trouble moving the ball in this game.
I agree. Jen?
Agreed. I mean, plus Shanahan said that I don't know, I've got the Athletic article up right now. Shanahan described them as day-to-day, but he thinks that they'll possibly play because none of them have been rolled out against the Vikings. Christian has the oblique injury. Williams is the one that worries me, but that's just because I remember everything he went to with were they still the Redskins when he played for the Redskins at that time?
Yeah, he was out for a while, and then the 49ers probably trade for him, I think.
Yeah, he requested a leave after a round. Yeah, understandably so. So yeah.
And even if they have CMC at 80% and Debo 80%, there's a lot of things under that Shanahan offense that you can. There's called a decoy. You can run a decoy. You can, and I don't care if you're 80% hobbling with a pair of crutches on the field. You're still going to watch your eyes on Debo and CMC. And Shanahan's that kind of OC where, well, you know what? Hey, we're not going to use them here. You don't know that, but maybe we'll throw them a couple runs here and there. But we still have Kittle. We still have, Ayuk on the outside. We can still throw the ball. In our defense, we keep it close. This defense can keep you in any game. So I'm not changing my mind. I don't care.
I'm not changing my mind.
I'm not changing my mind either.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Well,
they're 80% are some players 150.
Exactly. 100%. 100%. Yep. Well, Dan, before we get out of here, how about we do a couple sponsors real quick, brother?
Yep.
All right, Dan, how about you take this great one here that we have?
The Ultimate Game Day mug. Drink from a bat, swig for the fences, dugout mugs. Use the promo code OTB Sports 20 for 20% off your order at dugoutmugs.com. A mug for any baseball fan to enjoy either watching the baseball playoffs. Me, I don't care about the baseball playoffs anymore, but teams that are still in it do so. Or you could use it any time of year you want to enjoy a nice beverage in this beautiful game day mug made from quality baseball bats. Once again, use the promo code OTB Sports 20 for 20% off.
Also, if you need any coffee out there for a beautiful morning time, make sure you reach out to monkeycoldcoffee.com. Use promo code OTBS Sports at the register there. Great flavors, the evolution of flavor infused coffee, bourbon, chocolate chip, toasted coconut, rum, Samaritan blend, and the newest blend, organic blend, Peru La Florida. I still wish I knew how to say that correctly. Peru La Florida. Florida. But guys, listen. Get your coffee out there, the greatest coffee out there. I drink it. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I believe I drink it 2 to 3 times a week, especially on a Sunday and, waking up early. But make sure you reach out to monkeycoldcoffee.com. Use promo code OTBS Sports at the checkout. Last but not least, if you need a lawyer, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, we got you covered. 1-800-HURT-123. Attorney Big Al, Jason Fine, workman's comp, motor vehicles, slip and fall, personal injury claims, 3 convenient office locations, Philadelphia, Cherry Hill, and my neck of the woods, Pittsburgh. Make sure you call 1-800-HURT-123 if you need a lawyer. If you call them and you get my voice, I do work for Jason. I cover the Pittsburgh area. I promise you, no recovery, no fee. Also, if we take your case, sounds good to us, we do it. No recovery, no fee. 33 1/3% guaranteed rate for all your expenses total. And last but not least, guys, check out our schedule here. We're not going to go through it all the way, but we do have something for everybody. Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Monday, whatever you want to call it, we have something for everybody. Tomorrow, the next show coming up is the Atomic Drop, all talking WWE, of course. So, guys, make sure you subscribe. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, the X, TikTok, Instagram, the IG, whatever you kids want to call it, we're there. Make sure you subscribe to that button. OOTB Box Sports and all the social media platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. It was a great pleasure having you on, Jen. Don't be a stranger.
Thanks for coming on again. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Definitely.
The honor. Thank you, guys. Sorry I got tongue-tied today.
Hey, listen, that's what happens. Well, I did it too. You got me calling the Oakland Raiders, Vegas Raiders, the Oakland Raiders. I don't know who else I called. A couple teams tonight, but it happens. I mean, that's what the fun of having live shows do.
Exactly.
Nobody's perfect. Nobody knows everything. It's an opinionated show. It's opinionated facts. We do what we do. We love what we talk. So what better way to do a show together, correct?
We do.
Yep, absolutely.
Definitely. All right. So we will be back next Thursday. Jen, you're more than welcome to join us next Thursday if you want. It's up to you totally. If you have time for us, But
thanks.
Yep. All right, guys. For myself, Paul Spencer, that is Dan Connor. That is Jen Luckman down there, Jen Lewis down there. We will see you next week, same time, 6 p.m. And whoever your team is, hope that you guys win. And Dan, I'm securing my lead and I'm boosting my lead at least by 2 next week.
Well, I hope not. We'll see.
All right. Until then, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.